Football. Football is back. Can you believe it? This is NFL Straya. I'm your co-host, James Clements. I'm a guy. I don't know. You can also see me on NBA Straya. Jim does Supercoach. I don't know. Some fun stuff here in Larry Armour Studios. On the other side of this here screen, it is a man who is still hungover from a 2025 Super Bowl win with his beloved Philadelphia Eagles. Sometimes singer in a band called the Ramshackle Army. Very, very rarely singer in a band called...
Rarely.
Here's my mate. He's your mate. Super Bowl champion. It's Gaz. Gaz, what's going on?
Welcome back, Jimmy. Welcome back. Fun thing, I just realised you switched us to a new platform for this year, and one of the things that I've never heard is the opening song, Jim. So now I hear the opening song, so I can dance along to it, and I'm really all happy. And yeah, we did a thing a couple of months ago, Jim. We kind of won a Super Bowl, and I definitely was drunk. It took us, I think we did the post Super Bowl show like 3 weeks later, and no one watched it because they didn't want to hear me. And everyone was over it except me, Jim. It took me that 3 weeks to get over the hangover long enough to be able to speak complete sentences.
Yeah, we really nailed the timing on that one. It's like, hey, do you want to talk about like the thing that's relevant now? It's like, no, we'll do that in a week and a bit. That'll be easier and better.
That's us.
I think after the live show, the live Super Bowl show, we were both goosed. You were still drunk for about a week. You lost different tops. You were wandering around.
I lost my Donovan McNabb jersey. I went to some random. I got told I wasn't allowed to have a shot at the Catfish. They told me you can't have a shot. And then later I said, could I have a shot? And they said, are you leaving? And I said, yes. And they went, good. You're someone else's problem now.
Jeez.
And then I went to another bar. I headed back our way down the inner northern suburbs, down the coolest street in the world, High Street in Northcote, and went in and once again was you should probably have some waters, mate. And it's only about 6 o'clock on a Monday. So it's good times, Jim. I'd like to do that every year if I could.
All right, I'll pay that. Well, this is NFL Australia's Welcome Back show because this is now a long-running tradition where we promise to do an off-season show and then just don't do one. It's a joke now at this point, which I like, so good on us. But this is the first show of this season, and really all I wanted this one to be was we caught up for a couple of beers a week or two ago and didn't really even talk NFL. It was just, hanging out, talking bullshit as we do. And it's like, wait a minute, we've got a lot to catch up on. But most of it is just past, it's gone, like no one cares anymore. Like now we're talking about the season. So this is going to be a quick setup of the season. Essentially, I just want to cover off the 10 biggest storyline-y kind of things that I'm interested in heading into the season and get your read on it. And then we'll just do some soupy picks.
Yep.
And then in the interceding couple of weeks before the actual season starts, we've got 2 of them, we'll do our big season previews. We'll do over-unders and all that sort of stuff, and it's going to be awesome. We'll break down every single team, every division, every conference. It's going to be awesome. But this one, just a taste of gas. Just a little bit of a taster. Degustation menu. We've got 10 things. It's 10 courses of absolute bullshit on tiny little fucking serves on plates that are giant to make it seem like you're actually getting value for money in your degustation. But anyway, that's basically it. I think this is episode 124 of NFL Straya. So I guess maybe should we let's go! Hi, this is Taylor Swift, and I'm now guesting on NFL Straya because it's my actual favourite NFL podcast, NFL Straya. All right, Garrington. What an off-season it was. Look, there's news and stuff going on, right? Like we're in week 2 of preseason. We kick off everything basically in 2 weeks' time, right? Like Friday, September 5. So we'll have this show this week, and we'll do basically a double episode next week, which will be we'll split these up for the folks out there, which will be your over-unders, where we'll do all 32 teams, we'll do their over-unders. That'll be our big season preview with some more predictions, and then we'll do a week 1 preview, which will have more season predictions, our best bets, all that sort of stuff, which tends to be our usual first episode of the season. We're actually a little bit more organised. What happened? I don't know. It's weird.
We usually have 6 months of saying, hey, we should get together. Let's step shit up for the next season, Jim. Let's plan a whole bunch more stuff. And then we're like scrambling 3 days before, which is usually around the same time as we're like, oh, yeah, we should have a draft for the NFL Straya Fantasy Football League, which once again we have not sorted. But, this wouldn't be a problem if we were, say, members of the Cowboys, Jim, because they don't have an off season. They are drama 365 days a year, according to Jera.
I'm Jerry Jones. I love my Cowboys. Come on, man.
65 days a year.
I'm very excited. So it's only just dropped as well, the Cowboys doco over here on Netflix. So I'm looking forward to probably this entire weekend binging the shit out of it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm 2 episodes in. 2? 3? Whatever. All the Super 3 are together. They've been drafted. That's all like happy days. My wife was not impressed with having to watch that last night. However, you know what? I knew that I was going to be safe and that they were going to play it safe and it wasn't going to be super controversial because they released it and kind of the Twitter sphere didn't explode with, no, I was treated wrong. I was misrepresented. That's not how it happened. So you knew they were going to play it safe. But let's be honest, we all just want to get to the end of that documentary and see how they summarized 30 years of ineptitude, right? That's what we want to get to.
30 years of complete and utter morose, just no one cares about you. It's amazing how far they've gone. Yeah, it is like state-sponsored media just fucking bums me out, right? But when the story's as good as like this 90s Cowboys sort of saga, or 80s, 90s saga, it's still going to be pretty compelling and I'm still happy to watch it, right? And then just have like basically like The Last Dance, right? You just get to relive these fun moments that are crystallized in time in your memory as well and going back over them. So kind of cool, kind of fun. Outside of that, like that's kind of it. The news over the off season, like we had essentially just a fucking waiting game for Aaron Rodgers. The draft happened, free agency. There wasn't like, it didn't feel like there was any giant earth-shattering, massive, fuck you kind of, oh my God, I couldn't see that coming moves. And, I mean, the draft even got fucking kiboshed by itself after Cam Ward got picked. And they're like, there's been a trade! And everyone loses their fucking minds. It's like Cam Ward's like, guys, I just got drafted number 1. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, don't care, shut up. There's a trade! And, like, this is... I fucking hate that sort of stuff, right? Like, the entire point of the trade is for the team to be picking the draft pick at the spot. But no. The hype is what it's all about now. It's the hype of like, what are they going to do with that pick? And like, dude, they just had the number 1 pick. That should be a pretty big fucking story. Nah, get out of here. I'm sick of you. So anyway, that all happened. And really, like, the Rodgers saga fucking dragged on. A bunch of other sort of shit happened. And we're kind of like, I don't know how you operate. I just sometimes will run through, starting QBs in my brain and it just blows my mind heading into this season. Like the amount of movement though we had in the offseason is pretty crazy. So next week's show where we go through every single fucking team is going to be way more interesting for that simple idea because we'll go, hang on a second, what is Juzzy Fields doing in the Jets? Well, that's fucking weird, man. And
there's teams this offseason who started fucking collecting QBs like Pokemon, right? Like the Giants are like, yeah, all right, cool. We're gonna take Rusty, and yeah. By the way, we're gonna get Jameis, and we're just gonna draft the guy who's gonna replace them both. And then the Browns are like, well, fuck you. We're gonna end up with 6 QBs.
Check this out. Hold my beer. I'm gonna get 6
QBs. Right?
Yeah.
That is fucking hectic. Like, and then it obviously doesn't make fucking sense when you draft 2. Yeah, they're apparently rumored to be taking 4 in, but as you said, there's players. A photo came out the other day of Donovan McNabb standing next to Joe Flacco in his rookie season, and you're like, wait, how the fuck did those 2 play in the league at this? How do they intersect?
I like that. That's 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's like, who did he play with? And you can go back to fucking, I don't know, Frederick Hammersmith III, who played in like 1922 or some shit. Like that's how you could sort of like trace all that all the way back. McNabb played with this dude who played with that dude, and away you go.
Yeah. Well, they went
Flacco's
through, I can't remember, it might have, whether it was Heed the Call or something like that last night, went through the wide receivers that Flacco was with in his rookie season, and it was like, his tight end was like Todd Heap.
Amazing.
And what is it? Jacoby Jones was like some old school names like, oh, that fucking dude.
I love it.
That guy. Yeah.
All right. But I mean, this is all sort of set up. So there's no like news that we want to just smash through today. We just sort of want to hit on 10 interesting things before this season starts. So like we're basically 2 weeks out, and the 10 sort of things, like they're kind of amorphous things, but there are 10 of them. I think I threw a bonus one in there, so shut up. But anyway, should we do it? Let's start.
Let's do it.
10 most interesting storylines, lines before the season. We've upped our production values as well this year. Yes. We have Echo. Number one is obviously the newsiest one. Contracts and holdouts and hold-ins. And the trade me's and the don't trade me's and the I don't want to play here anymore. I'm sick of Jared Jones. And I don't know, we're sort of in this weird impasse where it feels like, I don't know, it feels like Micah Parsons is going to happen, right? With Dallas. It feels like it feels like the fucking Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboy, du jour, like fucking set menu. Apparently I'm hungry today. I'm talking degustation, but like they have a recipe of like how to build up hype for a season for the Cowboys. And it's like, have one of our best players basically need a new contract. We'll fuck around and then we'll end up paying more for them because we're actual idiots. Mm-hmm. But we'll get a lot of sizzle before the season starts. And that's what's happening with Micah. Mm-hmm. Trey Hendrickson, it feels like he might actually just not play for Cincy, which is crazy because that defense is already shithouse. And they might just lose like one of the best defensive players in the fucking NFL for reasons where it might be just because they're cheap. Cam Hayward is a kind of like a hold-in situation where he's like, hey, I figured if I was an all-pro, come on, we do some more of these. And Pittsburgh's like, show me where in the contract that you signed that would happen, motherfucker.
12 months ago, that way you said, I thought that if I outplayed this contract, it was under the, under the condition that we would revisit it. Sorry, whose condition? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a heap of it because it goes back to the whole Myles Garrett, I'm fucking done with the Browns, I'm going, was only February. It feels like 3 years ago now. That's when crazy. It was the whole like, no, I'm going, I've requested a trade. See you later. I now want to chase trophies, Jim. I've got enough money. I want to chase trophies.
And then all of a sudden cars as well. Like he's literally chasing after those trophies apparently. Yeah, and they're going very fucking quickly.
Yeah, they're going very quickly. But then the Micah thing, I know the whole drama and we're just assuming that it's going to happen because they did the same with Dak. They did the same with CD. It goes back when they did it with Zeke. And you're like, but I don't know, it does feel a little bit different, right? Like, I know that it's fucking Micah setting this, it's been nice playing for you. I always wanted to play with a star, and now it's my time to go. But realistically, they seem to be leaving it quite late, and it's only, 2 weeks before they're taking on their division rival, their hated division rival, who also happens to be the Super Bowl champion, and the guy hasn't even stepped onto the field, like in playing. Not that with Micah he needs to be practicing, but it's already a challenging year where you're getting to Dak later in his career. You've just given you've given a true number 2 receiver for the first time in a number of years, and you're like, all right, we should be in here. But the other thing that Jerry said is we're talking about it's not all about winning, Jim. I've just put in a new coach, and the drama is the thing, Jim. It's not all about winning, which is what you want to tell people as you're driving through, and you want to tell Shoddy as he comes into his first season as head coach. And
it's all fucky. There's also Scary Terry, obviously, in Washington. I feel
like that's going to get done. It does. Just started building.
It feels like he is such an integral part to that offense with Jaden Daniels. It was such a good story last year. He was such a big part of it as well. Like, you need to keep Jaden Daniels essentially pointing in the right direction, and trading Scary Terry is not that right direction, right? So fuck that. So I don't know. It feels like Hendrickson's the one that could just end up somewhere else out of fucking nowhere. Outside of that, I mean, here we are. Like,
I'm not a Bengals, obviously not a Bengals fan. I have less of an interest in the AFC, but I don't understand how they have a habit of fucking contracts. Like, having the holdout from their number one overall draft pick, the rookie contract structure is designed to make it easy for everyone and prevent a Jamarcus Russell getting paid some squillion amount to never really show up and all that sort of stuff. And having a standardized agreement, but then they were trying to put in clauses, like effectively void clauses for the guarantees of, actions unbecoming kind of thing. But it was very, very wide.
That were being open. Cincy and shitty and dodgy and cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are.
And then just taking away from the protection of the player, which is obviously not what they want. And they don't want to be the guy who said yes and set a precedent for every poor fucker coming after them. And then you look at Trey, who's, the last 3 seasons, 18 sacks or something like that, average. And you go, if you're not going to fucking pay anyone, like,
what are you doing?
Get them fucking sorted, mate.
Like,
it
took them so long to, sign Jamar, sign T. Higgins, and they've just, I don't know, this weird nickel and diming of Cincy is like a big thing, and it's been a big thing for a long time. And it's like, come on, man. Like, if you're in this for the right reasons, i.e. to win shit, just pay the dudes what they're worth. Fucking shush. Stop trying to fuck everyone. Get on with it. And it's pretty funny because obviously there's no NFLPA kind of at the moment with any sort of teeth. And it's kind of weird because after the collusion stuff sort of came out about the guarantees they were giving to quarterbacks, I feel like you should be more up in arms about them trying to fuck over actual guarantees to rookies. Yeah. Right? That should feel like more of a fucking pertinent storyline. But anyway, so that's all contract hold-ins, holdouts. That's going to be the news over the next 2 weeks still. That'll probably, it'll obviously play out. Number 2 is the shit quarterback battles on shit teams. We've had a lot of them. And we're getting the news now that Danny Dimes beats out Anthony Richardson in Indiana. I'll tell you what, Indiana Jones, don't know about this. Danny Dimes, he's just not good. But he might be better than Anthony Richardson, Gaz. So, bit of a weird one. Flacco's named as the starter for Cleveland, while Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel shit-talk each other on the sidelines, apparently. Dylan Gabriel, just trying to be doing the coach speak, inadvertently just saying the dumbest shit in the world and inflaming the situation was pretty fucking funny. Who the fuck cares about the Saints QB situation, but it's a fucking bin fire. Sure. You've obviously, as you mentioned earlier, you've got a weird situation with the Giants where you've got Rusty Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Jackson Dart. So it kind of feels like if one gets in trouble, then you've got the other one to fall back on. And then the rookie will be standing on, what about me here? I'm here to play. It's going to be awesome.
Well, the latest stories are that the teams are already calling about Jameis because of the way that Jackson Dart's played in the preseason, right? That he's going to be capable enough by mid-season that if Rusty stumbles, that Dart would stand in, and you might as well get something for Jameis because they paid him a lot.
Yeah.
As someone who is expected to be a backup, Rusty is not Rusty, old school Rusty, but he played significantly better last year, significantly more serviceable last year than he was in Denver.
Yeah.
So you're like, you know what? I feel like he could be a stopgap until Jackson. That's why when they're bringing in Jameis, if they intended to draft a rookie first round, it made kind of no fucking sense. But anyway.
Giants defense would be awesome, but their offense could be a fucking train wreck. Fields obviously with the Jets, which is still pretty funny to me. To this point where you're just like, sure, is that your plan? Okay, Cam Ward for the Titans. Obviously, one of the other ones we didn't mention was Geno Smith on the Raiders, which is pretty crazy with old mate Pete Carroll. And then there's just sort of a weird situation, which I'll get to in a second, with the Rams, where you're like, is it going to be Jimmy G's team all of a sudden? We just don't know. But it feels like a lot of these shitty teams are going to be made even shittier because their shitty QB situation is pretty shitty.
Well, yeah, there's one that's not on your list that's worth adding to, and it's like somehow out of the laughing stock of last season's kind of draft slash free agency period, Atlanta almost look like fucking geniuses for overspending on Kirk and then drafting a QB who then takes over, who's now going to be the starter. But then you got Kirk sitting in the background going, what the fuck? And then he's raced back from that Achilles. So what if a year removed, Kirk goes back to old Kirk? No, not winning playoff games, but putting up a bunch of stats and can get traded for something that's half decent. He feels like he's just not been part of the conversations this whole offseason.
It's weird. Yeah. I don't know, because it feels like everyone's just going, yeah, Penix is the dude. They'll be fine. Off they go.
Yep.
Number 3 is trades. And like the trades that are already happening in like the last couple of days, there's like a lot of, as cut downs hit start of next week, you'll have a shit ton more in the next week or so, right? And obviously the big ones that happened in the offseason already, like with Rodgers going, Geno going, all this sort of stuff. But Minka Fitzpatrick being traded was pretty fucking strange. For Jonnu Smith and Jalen Ramsey, and you're like, sure. Okay, Debo off to Washington, which is kind of gnarly. We'll get to some fallout from that in a second. But, I mean, there's also the weird ones like Brian Robinson Jr. is like a prospective trade candidate because they've just got like this kind of oh shit moment with the Commanders where they're like, wait a minute, our rookie's really good. What the fuck? This could be good. See ya, Brian. Don't get shot again. And off he goes. And you'll have a shit ton more like this. So that's one big thing you need to keep your eye on happening or in the next week or two, right? It's going to go fucking chaotic.
But there's also a bunch of the ones where you're like, because there is the flagship trades that happen, there's a lot of clickbait going on out there where you get a trade alert and it's like some fourth string explained. Oh, yeah, well, there's the perspective that just drives me bug shit. But when the third or fourth string on this team is like done as a direct player swap for a third or fourth string on another position, and that's breaking news. I'm like, calm the fuck down. It's a camp body who's probably not going to make it. But the interesting one that we picked up, Mechie from the Texans, who he's going to be buried like third or fourth on our depth chart, but his best year was alongside fucking Smitty in Alabama. So some of those old guys getting back together, but I mean, it made sense that the Texans wanted to move on from him because they got a pretty stacked fucking wide receiver room once you've got
and there was another weird trade
and stuff like that,
where Darren Waller unretired and is now on Miami, which was fucking strange and awesome. So
really strange, or did he get traded to the Giants and then went, fuck that, I would prefer to sit on my couch and do fuck all than play at MetLife for half my season.
I'll pay that.
Yeah.
All right, these are sort of combined. Next one is Matt Stafford, and he's back. And that will lead into injuries. But, I mean, the Stafford one's weird because the Rams are this, like, sort of sexy pick of, like, look out for the Rams. And then as we've gotten further into preseason, everyone's like, wait a minute. Is Matt Stafford alive? Like, he had an epidural? Did he have a baby? What the fuck is going on, man? And it turns out his back is fucked. But then Sean McVay's like, nah, man, if we had to play tomorrow, he'd play. It's like, okay. So is he just taking training camp off? Or is he just chilling, hanging out, being old, knocking people off fucking, Super Bowl floats and all that sort of shit? It's just a weird situation for the Rams. And it's like really hard as we do this preseason stuff. Like if you talk about fantasy, if you talk about betting stuff, you're just like the Rams, fucked if I know. Like if they've got Jimmy G as their QB, who fucking knows, right? Like he could be fine for a couple of weeks and then the ass could fall out of it. They could be super solid no matter what. Stafford could just play the entire time and they're great. But it makes like dudes like Puka Nacua and stuff like Kyron Williams, you're like, I have no idea how to fucking judge this cat.
Yeah, 100%. Like and they stacked up in the off season as well, right? So you're like, this could be like they were a dark horse to get in the playoffs last year, and this could be a solid going further. But without Stafford, all bets are off, right? So it makes our over-unders next week just a fucking coin flip.
Yep. That does lead into injuries. There's been a few of them, and like this is the classic. We do this every year. Preseason, can we turn injuries off, please? It's like, yes. I mean, I mean, I've long been a proponent of fuck it. Like the first 4 weeks of the NFL season is training camp, practice, preseason shit anyway, right?
Yeah.
So why not just fucking do scrimmages, and then start the season? Fuck the preseason games. We're basically doing that anyway. But Rashawn Slater tore his fucking did he blow completely through a patella? I think it was. And you're like,
something like that.
Jesus, dude. Literally days after he got a massive fucking contract. That sucked. But then there's like a weird bunch of nebulous injuries. Like even Justin Jefferson's dealing with like soft tissue calf stuff.
Yeah.
But Devon Achane, Najee Harris blew himself up. And then we're like, wait, no, that was another dude named Najee Harris. I'm like, how many motherfuckers are there named Najee Harris blowing themselves up? What is going on? Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, Tyreek Hill, Malik Neighbors. There's all these sort of weird injury clouds around like fucking famous position players, let alone defensive players and all the other dudes. This is just another one. Hopefully everyone's like now keeping themselves on ice for the next 2 weeks and we just get to the fucking start of the season okay, Gaz.
Yeah, and the Tyreek Hill one's interesting because the conversations of him not being stoked at life in Miami, you end up with that whole the contract leads on to the no, I've got back tightness today. I can't. I'm a bit hobbled on this hamstring. So it's funnily enough, people maybe just don't want to put themselves at risk, Jim, going into those last couple of weeks and just go, fuck it. Oh, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. My neck's sore. I might wait for 2 weeks until the season starts.
That's what I'm doing basically right now. That's great. There's also suspensions, which I think is number 6 on this list. Rashee Rice, that's been pushed back to September 30 when they're actually like doing the sort of, we're going to do the handing down of like all the fucking thing here. And you're like, be nice if we sort of just knew. Quinshon Judkins, there was no case to answer there criminally, which is crucial because the NFL might still suspend him, which is something they can and have proven to do. Myles Garrett, I
just can't get over that the name Quinshon Judkins is a real person and not a cartoon character.
I mean, props to clearly the brother of my mate from primary school in Ballarat, Simon Judkins.
There you go.
Yeah, Quinshon Judkins, clearly his younger brother.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett loves DUIs. Doesn't want to talk about it in press conferences. It's like, well, then don't fucking drive 160, you dipshit. And here we are. Just
you know what you can pay for with the $80 million contract that you held out for, Jim?
I mean,
fucking Uber.
An Uber. It just
a permanent driver. I fucking know.
I mean, it's just what are we doing here? Like, we've got this like set of like former NFL players who have killed people in fucking crazy car crashes and shit. And you're like, I feel like we are maybe not getting through to folks about not doing that maybe, which is obviously pretty fucking shit. Anyway, suspensions. The Rashee Rice one's actually pretty interesting because KC, we're about to talk about hypey and like the over-unders and the improving teams, the declining teams. Rashee Rice is a big part for this KC offense, right? Like without him, you're suddenly relying a lot more on Kelsey. You're like, Xavier Worthy, save us and shit like that. You're like, Hollywood Brown, he'll save us. It's like, will he? And the Rashee Rice thing, like he was awesome at like times last year. And now you've got this suspension sort of hanging over his head. It's a really fucking strange one for this Chiefs season, which is probably going to be pretty strange anyway, I reckon. But I don't know.
They definitely feel not as fucking bulletproof now, right?
Yep. True that. All right. The other one is, I love this one, hype teams. This is kind of, kind of split into two. One of the things we'll split into two because it's like, who's expected to improve and decline? And like, this has been like a great storyline all preseason as people have talked themselves into specific teams. They've shit talked other ones. And over the years, if nothing has been proven completely correct, Gaz, is that none of us know a fucking thing.
100%.
Right? There's always
doesn't stop us, Jim.
Exactly.
Does not stop us.
Who doesn't mind a good prognostication? But you think about last year, the Commanders is like, they'll be shit. Boom. NFC title game. And that then leads into who will be this year's Commanders? And everyone's like, the Pats. Oh, just saying, have a look there. And I'm like, nah, fucking just pump the brakes, bro. But then you've got teams like Chicago, for instance, where the hype is just getting hypier and hypier and hypier.
They've won the last 4 off seasons, Jim.
They are undefeated off-season champs. It's fucking great. They are the Essendon Bombers of the NFL. It's like, Adrian Dodoro's done it again. It's like, yeah, and they've missed the finals again. But Chicago's a fascinating setup where Ben Johnson comes in as the coach. Caleb Williams. Like, the crazy thing is, this could almost be overreactions to preseason and training camp film, this entire section. Because people are flipping out about a week and a half ago, Caleb Williams looks fucked. He can't throw a ball. He's not hitting any targets. And like everyone's flipping out, losing. It's like, and then he comes out and plays a preseason game last weekend and shreds. And everyone's like, Chicago gotta fucking win it all, man. Check it out. We can't just fucking just go, oh, they might be better. They've got a better coach. They've got a coach who's very smart and quite a good offensive mind. Maybe just let him cook and we'll see how we go. Nah, we can't do that. We're going to be like, nah, they're fucking awesome. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to go fucking... I did see someone say, oh, they're going to be like 14 and fucking 3 this year. I'm like, I don't know about that. Jesus. I love that. And then you've got other teams that, I mean, just have been shit on routinely throughout this offseason, like the Giants or someone like that. But then you're an NFC East denizen. I feel like if they get anything out of the QB position, that defense is going to be fucking so terrifying. The Giants just might not be that shit this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, the whole point with that defense is, last year was that D-line is just fucking top to bottom scary as fuck, right? But if you could get a little bit of time and get over the top to that secondary, you're pretty fine, right? But yeah, the offense has been the problem for the last number of years, which is completely against not the history of the Giants because they've, won Super Bowls on the back of that defense, but definitely not what you expect from Daboll, right? The fucking QB whisperer who got Allen up to where he needed to be and all that, but has never been able to do anything with Danny Dimes. And, so maybe just needs his quarterback to start from scratch and say, I hope they fail. Don't get me wrong, as an NFC East. But the NFC East is obviously wildly interesting every year because the Cowboys are always in on someone, and this year it's Pickens, and they're always fucking up some level of contract. And then the commies of, I guess, building around a nucleus. They went hard in free agency last year and got a bunch of guys at the end of their career and milked some extra yardage out of them, pun intended, and came up strong for it. But they've now got that nucleus of Daniels who could carry them through for a long time. And the Eagles are just, I guess, top to bottom, are strong in most positions and didn't lose too much. That's the key thing about the Super Bowl. They didn't have a mass exodus. So it's going to be a really weird and interesting division, top to bottom this year.
I think the Giants, though, as well, like the weird thing is when you look at them, you go, they won't be as shit as they are, but they also have like the fucking schedule from hell, I think. So they might still only win like 3 or 4 games and it wouldn't be a giant surprise. But yeah, it's like teams like that. And then you look at someone like the Niners where no one knows what the fuck to think about that team because they've got no healthy wide receivers. They traded for Sky Moore today.
I was about to mention that.
Sweet. It's like, all right, cool, to go with Ricky Pearsall. And
I just don't know a team like who just has like every second season is top to bottom injury just riddles, and then they go, oh, we'll have a healthy season and make the NFC Championship game, and then the next season they're like, oh, we're fucked. We're like rolling out some fruit shop attendant that we met yesterday. Like, what the fuck is with the Shanahan teams and their
starting QB is a 7th round fucking pick. Like it's crazy. Who now has been paid, and the Niners are a weird situation where you've paid Purdy. Now what? You've got Ayuk and Jawan Jennings are both injured, and just like I have no idea.
And paying them a lot. Yeah.
No idea what's happen with that. What's going to happen with that team? The other ones are, which rookies are going to pop? This is absolute hype time for rookies, Gaz. It is awesome as well because fantasy is great when it comes to rookies. And another added part of obviously the fantasy bow this year is that they've launched NFL Super Coach, which we're going to be covering pretty extensively. But rookies are a big part of that, right? Because they are your cheap filler for your bench. That's how you make your money when it comes to Super Coach Classic and shit like that. So you look at the dudes like Travis Hunter, Ashton Genty, Tet McMillan, my now beloved Trevion Henderson. Let's fucking go. But there's like a bunch of really, really good skill position players, as well as like the defensive dudes that got picked this year, like for Abdul Carter, right? For the Giants, who look fucking terrifying. So it feels like you can talk up rookies, you can talk them up each year. They all look awesome in preseason. Which ones are actually going to be impact players, and how will that actually really help those specific teams do anything this year? And Tet McMillan is a fascinating one for me. Travis Hunter's obviously a big one. Like, you think about those dudes, like McMillan specifically, Carolina, who the fuck knows what's going to happen with that team?
Yeah.
But are
they're a little bit of a dark hype team too, based on the way that they came on kind of towards the end. Like when your number one overall draft pick gets fucking benched and then comes out and plays somewhat lights out in the second half of that season after a benching, right? Like, fuck, that's pretty good. And now they got some weapons around him. They had some, but it's pretty stacked in terms of that wide receiver core now. So see what ends up with him.
Nice. And I guess like the Travis Hunter one's awesome. It's kind of weird because I feel like there's not even been enough made about how weird that situation is going to be in Jacksonville. It's like, oh, he'll play like 80% of the offensive snaps. It's like, will he? Is he going to play 80% of the defense? It's 40% of the defensive snaps. Is he going to play 120% of the game, Gaz? Like, what are we doing here? I'm no magician, but I'm pretty sure that adds up.
The funny thing is, yes, obviously he's a athletic freak and like just is a skill set, and that came on very, very raw. And I think in the first couple of they were picking on his route running. The social media was picking on his route running in the first couple of camp sessions because he didn't look polished. But if that's what he can do with raw ability, like imagine what he's going to do polished. But there's also the consideration of the rookie wall hits having more games, higher speed, hits the best players out there. That's playing one position, Jim.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going to hit around week 10, week 12 when you're trying to get involved in everything?
Yeah,
but obviously
it's become week 6, the rookie wall, I think, when you're playing both offense and defense, right?
But is first string offense, second string defense, pretty much, I think. Yeah.
Which is really cool, and I feel like it should be even bigger than it is. I don't know. There's going to be lots of fun sort of stuff with these rookies, and we'll be all over it. Like,
Genty's one to watch. Obviously, he's a bit of a hype dude because he's just running over pricks in the preseason. Like there's that thing where the hype teams, as you were mentioning before, and they came out. The Eagles was a good example. We didn't have any starters, but then they played against the Bengals, who were like, "Fuck, we're sick of our slow starts, so we're going to put in our starters for the first half of the game," and then they still got beaten. But you're like, well, you don't think too much of it.
And Joe Burrow nearly got killed twice.
But you're like, yeah, but look, let's be honest. The defense, like our backups on offense are killing their defense, but they're not calling any blitzes and they're not hiding any packages. They're not doing anything. There's no creativeness from either side. But you can still tackle, Jim.
Yeah.
So when you've got someone like Genty taking fucking holes straight up the middle and just trucking dudes, like the guys aren't taking it easy on tackling. So when you're like, fuck, you know what? I don't care whether you called a pretty vanilla defense. Then he's fucking running over pricks, right? So he's gonna have a spicy. A spicy rookie season, I reckon.
Nice one. All right, the bonus one is me. Obviously, the big storyline's going to this one. It's actually not a really big storyline, but it is a big storyline for me. It's the Pats. Like, are they good? Are they not going to be good? The only storyline I care about so far, really, for the Pats this offseason has been, one, how much I already love Vrabel.
Daddy Vrabel's back.
I fucking love Vrabel so much, and it's great. And then the emergence of Trevion Henderson, which is just like fucking awesome. I'm like, yes, give me just one awesome skill position player on this fucking team, please, just to make it worth me waking up at 3 a.m. for fucking 6 months. And then you got Stephon Diggs coming back from his knee injury and shit like that. But The Josh McDaniels sort of position, like part of this. You know me, I always loved him. Said he was a great offensive coordinator, real innovator. Anyway, but that's going to be interesting. But the Pats, look, my expectations are tempered, but I am at least engaged this year because I think Vrabel is a fucking awesome coach. I love that he's the Pats coach, and I'm just sort of like all the way back in. Yes, of course. It's like Drake May, Vrabes, Trevion Henderson. Let's fucking go. It's kind of fun. Enough about me.
No, it's not like I'll just stay on that for a little bit, right? Because the Jets, the buzz around the Jets in the last couple of years. Well, you know, Breece Hall looks like he's on his way out the door. We're talking about Juzzy Fields. They're talking about like they are no longer the buzz team, and the expectations are not as high on that defense. So you might win a couple of games there, Jim.
Hey.
And the Dolphins look like they're on the decline, getting rid of players. Unhappy people like Tyreek. The fucking anyone who's out the door is throwing hand grenades on the way out around the coaching staff and how the players are treated and stuff. So, mate, you might end up with just 4 in-division games. Bills are always going to be fucking tough, but you know it's
kind of fun, kind of weird, kind of interesting. Let's go. And then finally, your Philadelphia Eagles. It's kind of weird because like I love Philly for this simple aspect of like, despite winning the Super Bowl, all Philly fans still feel aggrieved at something.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
It's like the biggest chip on your fucking shoulder every single year, despite even winning the Super Bowl. It's just how Philly does shit. Right? Yep. So everyone's like, they fucking doubt us. They still doubt us. Like, we don't doubt you. Everybody thinks you're the best fucking team in the NFL. We just understand that it's really, really hard to go back to back.
Yeah.
And especially after, you play that deep into a season every single fucking year. We see it time and time and time again. Unless you're basically the Chiefs, it's really fucking hard to do it again. So I guess the big storyline coming into this one is, can they go back to back? Are they the best team in the NFL? They are the best team in the NFL until proven otherwise, Gaz.
Correct. Until we all start 0-0. But look, I love the mentality that came out, like the interviews, like they gave themselves 3 days, and then it was like, even Mailata's coming out and going, we haven't done shit this season, right? It's all about starting from scratch. We've now, we haven't proven anything, blah, blah, blah. We've got a new offensive coordinator, new rookies, a whole new reset. The rookies from last year obviously overachieved with Quinion Mitchell and Coop. But you got to remember, like, people were calling for fucking Nicky Sriracha's head at week 4, and I was one of them going, what the fuck is this team doing? And then, it clicked. So there's going to be another team that happens to. We got lucky with injuries. Already there's been some soft tissue and stuff for us. So on paper, looks great. We haven't taken a step back in too many positions, but fuck, it's a long season, mate. There's a lot of wear and tear was put on Saquon last year. Like, we've been lucky with people like AJ. Jalen Hurts hasn't spent any significant time out. The offensive line, we've already seen a few injuries go down there, and that's obviously super important. So, mate, a lot can happen in 17 weeks of just trying to make the playoffs, let alone do a deep run. So
I like it. All right, so that's kind of where we're set up, like with the preseason stuff. Like, there's been not a giant amount of real fucking angst in the last week or two, which is kind of nice. It's kind of, nicely sort of settled. So we'll see what happens now over the last sort of, 14 days before kickoff. But with that in mind, obviously fantasy is going off its fucking head. And I mean, we've got our NFL fantasy, our fucking NFL Straya Legends League, the extremely tightly contested setup that we've got. But this year we've also got Supercoach, because that has been launched. So I'm covering that with Jim Does Supercoach, which will be popping up on our YouTube feed as well. And I'll have its own little podcast feed at some point too. But with those who are interested, before we get into our Soupy picks, there is just an overall Supercoach league that you can join that's open, which is essentially the total points for the season. I think we'll put up a couple of T-shirts and some shit as a prize, whatever. To join that, it's 681935 is the league code. 681935.
Put it across the bottom of the screen, Jim, like what they do on those TV things.
I could probably do that. Call now. Join up if that's your thing. Supercoach. So check out Jim does Supercoach and all that sort of shit. I'll be breaking that down. We'll do it on the show as well each week. Supercoach is obviously, doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a, I don't know, long-time veteran.
I've never done Supercoach, Jim. You were explaining it to me over a few jars the other night, and I never got bothered in getting into it in the AFL, so I might give it a crack this year.
It's going to be pretty good.
See how much I can suck at that one as well.
And obviously Captain Fantasy, that's always going to be fucking nuts with our NFL Straya Legends League. So, I don't know. We've got basically that week or two before the kickoff, fantasy just hits like a fucking hypey level, which is chaos, and everyone just keeps rising up draft boards and people keep dropping and shit. Interesting to see where it all lands this year, but Supercoach is an extra sort of like aspect of it is always a bit fun because you can just get who you want if you can afford them. It's kind of cool, Anyway, with all that said, who's winning the Super Bowl this year, Gaz? Should we do some soupy picks?
I can't not, Jim. I just want I have to bet on the dynasty, right? I have to bet a starting something. Gotta be starting something. I want it, Jim.
I like it.
I want it a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go with my Eagles, and I don't know who. I feel like you go, is this the year for someone like the Bengals? And then you just look at how that offensive line nearly got him killed 4 times before the season started. And you're like, Josh Allen, is he fucking up there? And you're like, what the fucking Ravens have they rebuilt? Or is it a fucking surprise team on the other side? It doesn't feel like it's going to be the Chiefs. But then again, it's started every season for the last 4 years. They've started like it's not going to be the Chiefs' year, and they've struggled through a bit. And then they come through when they need to.
Could it be somebody like Denver, like riding an awesome defense and just doing enough on offense? Like it's the AFC is chaos this year. The NFC, it feels like there's a couple of really good teams and then a bunch of fucking question marks. Like we haven't even mentioned basically the Vikings and JJ McCarthy. I think that was literally the first time we mentioned the Broncos on this show, right? Like
100%.
All this sort of shit. Yep. We didn't say anything really about the Chargers and like second year Jim Harbaugh. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep.
Also, my beloved Juzzy Herbs got himself a partner. And when you start dating absolute smoke shows, I think as a QB it means A, you've arrived, B, you're about to be a champ. Just saying. Madison Beers, I tip my hat to you, Juzzy Herbs. But I think my pick is probably going to be, it's really like the NFC is fucking just chaos. Probably the Eagles get out of it again. At the same time, I feel like just it might grind on them. I'm going to say we get a Green Bay versus Buffalo soupy, and Buffalo break the hoodoo. The weird thing about Green Bay is like the defense, you just sort of like, oh, I don't know. The offense, you're kind of like, I don't know. I think they're good. And like we'll know like 4 weeks into the season whether or not they're actually good. Maybe. Buffalo, look, I think I trust them. I reckon Buffalo, Baltimore in the AFC title game. And Buffalo break the hoodoo, get into it. Like, the Baltimore thing, it's set up for them this year to actually be the dudes, to be that team. And it wouldn't surprise me if they win all the way through and actually win the entire fucking thing. But
I'm pretty sure I've picked the Bills the last 3 years as being that team, and it just never fucking happens, right?
So, I reckon Bills, Packers, just in my brain, though, I feel like that's an amazing, and you know me, uniform matchup. One of the all-time great soupy uniform matchups, I'm just saying. But anyway, there you go. So you've got your Eagles over the top of.
Who did I end up with? I'm gonna end up on the Ravens.
All right,
I'm going Ravens.
I like.
It's got to be Lamar.
A bird bowl, not bad, guess. Not bad. But that's it. Episode 124 of NFL Straya in the bag. And I mean, we have a huge season ahead, right? So we'll be doing this every single week. We'll also be filling in all the gaps throughout your week on our YouTube as well, right? And across all the socials. We'll be doing a weekly preview as well. Like basically, it'll be all the picks that we sort of run through, usually on a Thursday or a Friday morning or whatever, which I did last year, I think. I don't know if it actually went out on the YouTube last year. Might have just been a News Corp thing. But anyway. So make sure you all across all of the socials, especially on the YouTube and shit, because we're going to have all the Supercoach stuff go up there. We'll have all the preview stuff, and obviously each of the shows. And whatever fun, dumb shit we also just throw in there, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, we're getting old and we need hobbies, Jim. Let's be honest.
Drinking is still a hobby, Gaz.
It is still a hobby. We just need to do it around more people,
Yep.
new people. Maybe we have events and things.
Maybe we should. Yeah. But either way, it's going to be a big season, so make sure you are following across all of the socials and on your podcast apps, your Apple Podcasts, your YouTube Music, Spotify, whatever app you use on the Android phone. Get around all of them. Big thanks always go to House Hats for the intro and outro song. They rule. And, I mean, NBA Straya is going to be back at some point. You got any other plugs there, Gaz?
Oh, I just want everyone to just focus their energy on the YouTube. We want the viewings up so that we can get a beer sponsor, so that you and I can flash brands and drink for free.
I like it.
So that's really what it comes down to, I reckon.
Nice one. All right. Good job, Gaz. That was pretty good. We will catch you next week, dickheads, for a big double-parter of the over-unders for every single team in the NFL. And until then, we'll catch you then.
See yous.
Later, Hosen.